What is up? This is Johnny Pace from FloTrack here in beautiful Eugene, Oregon at the Under Armour Castle. I'm joined with Jonathan Hutnyan, the Senior Product Manager of Run Performance at Under Armour. It's a good day for you, man. Congratulations.
It's a great day, yeah. It's been a great week, and today just kept getting better.
Yeah.
We got one more day tomorrow.
So this men's 1500, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on what Jonah was wearing. Can you tell us a little bit about what was on his feet?
Yeah, I mean, Jonah had a great day. So the product coming along for the ride is just a bonus.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, the credit to Jonah and the work he put in.
Yeah.
But it's always exciting to see the product on the track, and then especially come across the line first. But so he was wearing our Shakedown Elite MD. We do two versions of our spike for our pro roster, an MD and an LD, kind of split by distance.
Okay.
Most of the squad kind of leans towards the MD. It's a little bit more aggressive, really covers from 800 to 5K. And then you kind of get that 10K cross-country specialist into the LD.
Yeah.
But it's been a really fun project to work on. I come from a track and field background, so getting to build product like this is like a little bit of a dream job, right? And today was just kind of capping it off in a great way.
Well, I was going to say, the last time I was racing seriously, spikes were not quite this advanced. It was basically just flats.
You and me either, right?
Yeah. Can you just tell me, I'm curious, like what's going into this? That I'm seeing a lot here on the bottom. Like, what is part of this technology?
Yeah, it's a mixture of components that creates, we look at it as like a system. And you know, all the brands are competing with new innovative foams and plates and compounds and geometries, but it's how they work together is where you kind of get that secret sauce for the athlete on race day.
Yeah.
And then there's playing into the factor of World Athletics rules, right?
Sure.
So we all have to abide by. So first, you know, from an upper perspective, it's just a super lightweight, breathable woven. So it feels great on foot, barefoot with no socks. It's light and breathable, drains water if you're doing the steeple. But the real magic is everything underfoot.
Yeah.
So we use a supercritical HTPU bead foam. Really fancy way of just saying midsole foam, right?
Yeah.
But it's got really high energy return. And it's just super bouncy and soft underfoot. And we're just maxing that out to the 20 millimeters that we're allowed to with under World Athletic regulations.
Yeah.
And then the real unlock is the plate we use and the specific geometry we have. Our spike is a little bit more aggressive in toe shape.
Yeah, if you can't see, I mean, this is a crazy arch you got.
It's a crazy rocker, and it's funny too when you see the athletes like on the start line, the up shot, it looks like their toes all the way up.
Yeah.
But the geometry of that plate and how stiff it is in comparison, or in continuance with the foam, is kind of that perfect ride, especially when you're up on the ball of your foot.
Yeah.
And so really just working with our innovation team up in our Portland office, over rounds and rounds of iterations on this and some of the road racing product to really find this perfect geometry that we believe gives the athlete a competitive advantage, and it showed today. Yeah,
absolutely. What is that process? What's that conversation like with these Under Armour professionals that are out here and like doing it big?
Yeah, we're lucky to have three really great teams, two in Baltimore, one in Flag, and they're super available. So we have an office in Baltimore, of course. I'm in our Portland office though, but it's a quick trip to Flagstaff.
Yeah.
So we involve them in every step of like daily training product, but specifically race product. So when we start a new project, something like a new track spike, we go to them first. You know, how's the first one been? Where's opportunities for improvement? What are things you've seen other athletes racing in? And we're always kind of keeping a pulse on the market and what's happening. And then their feedback is what starts to get us in the first iteration process. And we'll build a couple of versions of the first one, mix some different plate compounds, some different midsole foams, send spikes out, and then they put it through the paces, workouts, races, things like that. And then it's just an iterative process. We'll maybe do 3-4 rounds of samples before we really get it right. Yeah. And then get it to market for a retail perspective, but also for, again, the whole World Athletics regulations piece. But they're super involved.
Can you tell me a little bit about the World Athletics element? Like what are the constraints that you need to?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. I mean, the biggest one that I think everyone knows about is stack height. 40 on the road, 20 on the track. It used to be 25 on the track. They brought it down after Paris last year. And so right now, those are the big ones. But then there's like an availability rule. Yep. So the spike has to be available to the general public.
Okay.
When you get to World Champs and Olympics. So they have basically two versions of an approval: a development shoe, which means it's like a prototype, and it can be worn in any meet, like today even at a US Championships. Yeah. But when you get to those top tier, again, Olympics and World Championships, they have to be commercially available. So
which is great news for the fans.
It's great news for the fans. puts a lot of work on the brands to make it happen. Yeah. But it's good. Yeah. It gives the idea of the like level playing field. Anyone that wants to run in a Shakedown Elite can go get one from UnderArmour.com or from a run specialty store that we're in a partnership with. Same thing for all the other brands. So it's good for the sport, and then it's good for the everyday run athlete that is looking to wear the same stuff that Jonah wore.
We also had some great representation in the steeplechase.
Yep.
I was there at the pit, so it was in the splash zone, so to speak. And
of course.
I was like, do these have any element like with water? Like, does it have any?
The big thing with that is, you know, giving them good enough traction on the bottom side of the plate for grip on that water pit, on the barrier, or any other barriers if they feel the need to tap it, right? And then just making sure the upper is breathable to drain, so it doesn't feel like it's a wet sock on their foot. Hopefully they're in and out of the water quick anyways.
Right.
So yeah, really just give them the right traction, especially when you get to the wet part of the pit right out. But that's the big thing, is the same type of performance they're looking for in a flat 3K or 15. They still want the steeple, but they also just want the confidence over the barriers.
Yeah. Under Armour's also been like crushing it in the marathon scene and the road racing. That's probably, I assume it's a little bit of different shoe out there on the marathon.
I mean, yes and no, right? I mean, it's a higher stack. It's up to just under 40 millimeters. So the shoe Sharon wore at Boston back in April is our new Velocity Elite 3, which comes out at the back end of this year. It's available now at a couple of key run specialty stores across the country that we're partners with, which is really exciting to start to see it in the wild. And then it'll kind of go to a grander audience in the fall. But that shoe uses the same geometry in the plate, but it's a full-length carbon embedded in the foam. It's got this really great Leno weave upper that's just like really soft, light, breathable, takes color really well, looks good across the finish line. And yeah, after what happened in Boston with Sharon's win and smashing a course record, super excited for that shoe to get out to the masses, and then to see the rest of our athletes continue to race in it. And then that'll help us think about the next one. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be a good feeling to see all the success that the technology is helping enable. But given all that, what are you excited for going forward?
Well, I mean, getting through tomorrow at least, we got some athletes in the 5K, so be able to watch men's, women's 5K, and one more athlete in the men's 800 final. So still got more track and field to go through tomorrow, which is exciting. And then looking obviously forward towards Worlds. And then we always have a big fall marathon season with events at Chicago and New York, athletes running, and then just kind of closing out the year with maybe a fast marathon in Valencia, TRE in Texas. So there's always events going on the back half of the year. I feel like I'm in a plane more than I am in my house, but I love it. It's a blessing to get to work in the sport. And then we have such a great roster, the pros. It's like them coming in and hanging out the house here all week and then getting them to go race and do their thing. It's an incredible experience.
Amen. Well, congratulations on all the success. And thank you for joining us to tell us all about it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.